Guys, this podcast is brought to you by our friends at Wrestling Collector Shop. Make sure when you need to add new figures to your FigFed lineup, you head over to WrestlingCollectorShop.com.
Started by collectors for collectors around the globe, Wrestling Collector Shop has been serving fans the latest and greatest in wrestling action figures since 2002. Whether you're looking for basics, elites, or ultimates, Wrestling Collector Shop should be your first stop the next time you're looking for wrestling figures.
So make sure to go to WrestlingCollectorShop.com and use promo code Swoggle to save yourself 10% on your entire order. That's WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Use promo code Swoggle and save yourself 10% on the newest and greatest wrestling figures out there.
That's more than 9%. Welcome to the State of Affairs, a podcast where each week we debate a different topic in pop culture, food, music, movies, and more. I'm Captain Joe Shoes from the WWE Day of Reckoning for GameCube commercial.
And I am Dylan Postl. You may know me from my barn burner tagging along Finley against the Boogeyman and the Little Boogeyman on No Way Out 2007. Dave Meltzer rated it 6 stars. But that's not what today's episode is about. That's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is a debate podcast where every week a topic is brought to us. And then Joe and myself will have our time and our chance to throw our name in the hat, so to speak, or maybe that's not the right wording. But we'll be able to argue our point, one-sided and the other with no interruptions. And then all gloves are off. But before we get into this week's topic, before we get into the brawl for all, as you could say, I want you to make sure that you're following all of our social medias at AffairsPod on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, everything at AffairsPod. Follow us. And also, make sure on iTunes you leave a review, you leave a rating. We would absolutely love it. And on YouTube, youtube.com/Dylan Postl. You make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Leave a comment like the one from last episode from at Heel a Done For. The topic was 80s action movies versus 80s comedies. Myself, I was 80s comedies. He was 80s action. At Hela Dunfor says, I really wanted to agree with Joe, but the themes in 80s action films became so cliche that it spawned many parodies for the next 2 decades. Hot Shots, Top Secret, Austin Powers, Naked Gun, Tropic Thunder, Johnny English all made fun of 80s action tropes. Also, there were many more bad 80s action movies than bad comedies.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Right there.
80s action movies were so popular that it allowed the spoof movies to occur. But I've got comments too, you little idiot. Jeremy Shoof over on Instagram says, quite simply, another bloodbath, Shoes wins. That's all you need.
Now,
because when you come to an argument, Dylan, and you don't have any argument at all aside from horseshit. I never saw this movie, it must suck. You mean
nothing. The comment he just left? You mean the comment he just left?
No, because this gentleman, this very intelligent gentleman, obviously with a well-paying job and a beautiful family, probably 3 kids, maybe 9 kids, because he's just so virile and vascular. He obviously listened to the full episode and then made an educated opinion. Jeremy Shoof, you are my Shoonie of the week.
Guys, thank you for your reviews, your comments. Make sure to add us on Twitter. We absolutely love hearing your side of each and every argument. But this week, Joe, What's on
And
tap?
don't forget, when you do follow us, we're giving away figures courtesy of
baby.
Wrestling Collector Shop.
Oh, baby, Wrestling Collector Shop. Huge sponsor of the show. Huge supporter of the show. We have a giveaway again.
Last week, we gave away an LA Knight Elite figure, and that was won by @Vince's_toy_box on Instagram. You never know which social media outlet we're going to be choosing to give away the figures, so please make sure to follow us across them all.
Now's the time in the episode. The main event of sorts. Joe, why don't you reveal this week's topic?
The topic today is food, Dylan, but more specifically, best fast food chains. For the sake of this argument, fast food in this context is defined as drive-through food. Restaurants like Chipotle, Moe's, Panera Bread, Subway, Jersey Mike's will not be considered.
My Subway does have a drive-thru, but it is not included on my list.
Your Subway has a drive-thru?
Hmm?
I've never seen that.
Really?
Yeah, never have.
Another reason why it's pretty superior in the sub game, but that's not what this is about.
Another reason why it's
that's not what
cheap
this is
and
about.
horrible.
That's not what this is about. This is
it's
about.
not. So let's take a little break, and then Dylan is going to get us started with today's episode. We are back. Dylan, I went first last week, and because we are good-natured, we rotate. We're a team here. So everybody gets an opportunity to play the game, and it is your turn to lead us off.
It is very easy. Very simple, very easy. Taco Bell is the front runner in fast food. From breakfast to late night and everything in between, there is nothing better at the fast food game than Taco Bell. I literally have no argument for it besides just the fact that it is the best. You want to eat healthy, you can get a healthy bowl. You want to eat like crap, you can eat like absolute crap. They have breakfast, like I mentioned, and amazing. I think, and people are going to argue for my number 2, but I think Taco Bell has the best breakfast, top to bottom, as any fast food place. Also, if you can go on any sort of rant and say no matter the state of your mind, the state of your body, the state of whatever you're going through, that Taco Bell doesn't satisfy that, you are a liar. You're a liar. You're an absolute liar. Sure. Does it give us a little rumbly in our tumbly? Yeah. But does it go down good? Yes. Taco Bell, the top of the fast food list, no matter what.
Your number 1.
My number 1. There is no arguing it.
So let me just make a comment about your selection first before I give you mine. 15 years ago, I would have agreed with you. Taco Bell provided an incredible bang for your buck. Who didn't live off their dollar menu when you're a poor student out there with your friends trying to have a good time, maybe somewhat under the influence of some kind of thing that requires sustenance because you just have this extreme urge to eat something really terrible for you, but somehow amazingly satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
But in that time that has elapsed, Dylan, Taco Bell has fallen off.
Nope.
We've had numerous menu changes, items coming off, items going away, beloved things that we would go for. And those are no longer there. And what they've also done is absolutely destroyed the in-dining experience. For me, it was...
No.
Yep. It's food you can get at drive-thrus. It's not just going through the drive-thru.
Who the fuck eats Fast food in a fast food spot.
The social aspect of sitting inside with your friends and
that's going to be
feasting.
Your argument.
No,
you're going to argue.
But that's part of my argument. Why Taco Bell has fallen off. They have destroyed the in-dining experience. The soda machines are always out of the syrup. You can't get sauces or napkins or anything because they are so low budget. They don't want you even coming inside anymore. But aside from that, we have to fight with them to bring back the Mexican pizza. They took away now the Doritos Locos Tacos, which was
I have one sitting on my floor right now.
You have one sitting on your floor? At my Taco Bell, it's been removed from the menu.
I ate one, and the other one's right here.
You know, the quality of the food has suffered, and this is going to be a theme across all things because this is not exclusively a Taco Bell problem, but with prices having increased as they was, the value that you got out of Taco Bell for such cheap food has now gone the way of the buffalo. So Taco Bell, I still enjoy Taco Bell, but to call it number one, I think is just not correct.
I'm back and forth between a 1 and a 2 with my number 2. It could easily be number 1 as well. So what is your number 1?
My number 1, I call it the best in show because it does so many things very, very well. It just reaches across every category and has like an above average grade. It's so solid across the board. And I'm going to go with Wendy's as my number 1 overall choice. Wendy's provides very good burgers.
Talking out of your ass.
It's my time to talk, Dylan.
I don't like this.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Wendy's provides great in everything. You want burgers? They got it. They revolutionized the chicken sandwich game with the spicy chicken back in the early 90s. That was like finding King Tut's treasure. It was so good and so different and new. I couldn't help but always want a spicy chicken sandwich. And not only that, when they added breakfast, you've got good breakfast. You want a breakfast Baconator, Dylan? Because they got it. And when Wendy says this is a Baconator, they do not cheap out on the bacon. As someone who will probably die soon of congestive heart failure, I want all that bacon and they give it to me. They load that up with that porky, greasy goodness and maybe I'll pay for it. Maybe I won't live a long and prosperous life, but you know what? I will have lived a good one. And Wendy's innovating all year round, constantly giving us new items, even if it's just a little modification like a pretzel bun. You want a pretzel bun, Dylan? Because let me tell you, a pretzel bun is delicious. And I know you can't say anything about that. But even times when they give us something simple, like an Asiago chicken sandwich, or when they did their version of the Italian chicken sandwich, where instead of just putting a slice of mozzarella on your chicken, they gave you a giant block of fried mozzarella. Complete
it's mozzarella.
Game changer.
It's mozzarella. That's what we say. It's mozzarella.
That's
how it's said.
It's mozzarella.
No, you're leaving out fucking letters. Now, you
fried mozzarella.
You went on for 18 goddamn minutes. No. They changed the game because they have square patties? Bullshit. Secondly, you want to talk about inflation prices? Wendy's.
Yep. Wendy's is expensive.
There is no place.
And I said that's a theme.
There is no place that it's had junior bacon cheese. I used to get the junior bacon cheese. That used to be even more than McDonald's dollar menu. Wendy's value menu was the best in show.
Now, but here's the argument. Taco Bell was known as the place you go to eat a lot for cheap.
Correct. And you still
that
can.
was Taco Bell's whole thing. And
you still can.
you can eat cheaper, but it's not like it was. You used to be able, and I understand
I
when
can
you
get a penny
account
candy for a I can get a penny candy for a penny. Now I'm paying 10, 20 cents for a Tootsie Roll. That's not a fucking point, Joe. That's not a goddamn point.
If you have to pay the money anyway, if you're gonna have to pay the money regardless, do you want ground beef or do you want steak? Because there is a big difference in the quality of food between Taco Bell.
I can get them all at Taco Bell.
No, you
I
can't.
get all of them at Taco Bell.
The Taco Bell steak is trash.
It's steak.
I'm using the ground beef and steak as metaphors, Dylan. And I know the Oshkosh school system probably hasn't caught up to metaphors. But as my old friend Kevin,
what can you get at Wendy's? You can get beef and chicken. You ain't getting steak at Wendy's. You ain't getting steak, and you're getting shitty. You're getting
your
shitty
beef at Wendy's is better than the steak at Taco Bell.
No one gets a steak at Taco Bell, but
no.
But you can.
You can.
You can.
People do.
Sure.
Personally, when I go to Taco Bell, I'm a chicken guy. I enjoy the chicken.
Everyone. It's
I
chicken,
enjoy the
steak,
chicken.
beef.
That's me.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you, since we're here, Taco Bell just recently came out with their Cantina chicken menu. Have you dove into that at all?
Not the best.
Not a big fan.
Not a fan.
Not a big fan.
But you know what? But I will say this, Wendy's. If you are one of these idiots that will die on the hill of dipping your fry in the Frosty, kick rocks.
But even the Frosty, when you were young, you never liked the Frosty.
Nope, vanilla Frosty, love it. Don't like the chocolate Frosty. Sucks.
Okay, but you have the option for a vanilla Frosty now.
Also, it's one or the other. You've never had a perfect one. It's either granulated or it's very, very thin. You've never had a perfect one. It's like the McDonald's milkshake machine. You can't even argue that.
You can't even get a McDonald's milkshake because the machine's always broken.
Correct. That's where the Frosty is.
You can always get a Frosty.
Sure you can. Doesn't mean it's gonna be good. I can always get kicked in the balls. Doesn't mean I'm gonna enjoy it.
No, I think you're making too big a thing out of the Frosty. The Frosty is
that's their thing.
But 9 out of 10 times, it's perfectly fine. It's great. It's such a low limited time. Now, recently, I will say this because I did do a food review video up on youtube.com/Joe Shoes. They recently came out with the orange Dreamsicle Frosty, and
I would like to give that a chance.
That was horrible. Now, I don't know if I got a bad batch or the mix wasn't right, but to me, it was just a vanilla Frosty with orange food coloring and light orange food coloring at that. So I don't know if they got the mix wrong or whatever. But the chocolate Frosty, I can maybe count on one hand in the past 3 decades the times I've had a bad or a less good chocolate Frosty. Because a chocolate Frosty, Dylan, is just like sex. And I'm a man who's had some sex before. And I will tell you that even the bad sex is still better than the alternative. And that's what a chocolate Frosty is. Now, the one thing I will give you with Wendy's, their fries over the years have been very up and down with the way they've changed recipes, the way they've changed potatoes.
The ones with the shitty potato skins, and then the sea salt was disgusting. Joe, talk about a flop. That was the McDLT of Wendy's. That was a goddamn flop.
I think their fries now are fine. They're great. They're not. Love them. For me, they're not like my favorite fries, but I think they're perfectly fine. But they have been up and down over the years.
This is where we do snake draft style, Joe. So Wendy's for you gets 5 points. Taco Bell for me would get 5 points.
Yes.
If we're doing the point system, essentially.
Sure.
So now, snake draft style, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is going to be, and this is going to be a regional pick, and I feel like that's going to
it's going to piss me off.
It might
piss me off.
I don't even know if you've ever had it, in all honesty, because I don't know how far out into the country.
I know what you're going to say, and I'm going to love it. But
so, Roy Rogers.
Nope, I'm not going to love it. You kicked me in the dick.
Really?
Come on!
Have you ever had Roy Rogers?
No, I only know about it because of Howard Stern. It's not fast food. Isn't that like a diner?
No. Roy Rogers was kind of like Arby's before Arby's, but the food was a lot better. The
The
burgers.
way Howard Stern talks about it, it's like a diner though.
No, it's definitely a fast food restaurant. The difference,
Drive through.
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
The difference is if you did choose to eat inside, they had a fixins bar where you could go and then add the lettuce and condiments and stuff yourself.
Like
so
a
that's the
Fuddruckers.
difference. But Fuddruckers is more of a next level type.
I'm
burger.
saying like a Fuddrucker. Yes.
Similar in the sense that they both have a fixins bar. Yes,
Correct.
but and same idea.
You're dying on that?
Roy Rogers, especially when I was a kid, they were Roy Rogers, where I lived, was like the number 2 behind McDonald's in terms of popularity. Just in terms of popularity and in terms of locations. Now, I think the nearest Roy Rogers to me now is like 14 hours away. When we did the major pod over in Baltimore in Jimmy's the first time, I actually took a 40-minute drive during the day before the show to go to that Roy Rogers location and film a video there because it had been, I think, since I've been at an actual Roy Rogers restaurant, it had been decades. They have them on the Jersey Turnpike, at highway rest stops where that's kind of where you can find them. But the experience of going into Roy's, the burgers were always very good. And they would do stuff like a double R bar burger, which was kind of like a bacon burger with cheese. And then it would have ham on it as well, which back then in the late 80s was like unheard of. They had fried chicken. They had a roast beef sandwich, which all these things by today's standards seem like gimmies, right? It doesn't seem like anything innovative, but at the time it really was. And they were also the first place to carry curly fries as a secondary option next to their regular shoestring fries, which their fries were always solid, but curly fries, especially when you're a kid, as a kid, you love curly 100%. Fries.
100%. But you never ate the C ones. You always ate the tight curls.
The tight. I mean, you would save the stretched out ones for last because
the C, or you just had the couple C's, and those were like, oh fuck. No,
and also the theming was based on the cowboy Roy Rogers, so your fries would come in a cardboard gun holster. You could put the fries on your belt and walk and eat at the same time. It was fun for all ages. And my favorite thing at Roy Rogers is something called the Gold Rush chicken sandwich. It sounds simple. It's your regular chicken patty with cheese, but it's got this honey sauce on it that just brought it to the next level and was so good. So anytime I'm anywhere in an area where there's a Roy Rogers nearby, I will go out of my way to have it.
Joe, this is very much like the entrance theme episode. You're just giving me points.
How?
You're just giving me points. Roy Rogers compared to the number 2, which is probably the number 1 in most people's, McDonald's. Is it an easy pick? Sure. Is it the pick? Yes. Name me one, and I know what you're going to say. Name me one fast food item that is better than the Chicken McNugget. You cannot name one. It is the ultimate fast food item on the market. Then
I will tell you,
I don't like the fries. I don't. People go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for those fries. I don't care for them because there's not a lot of substance to them. But you get fresh ones, you're eating a large in about 5 handfuls. They're done. Then you get a McChicken or you get the McDouble. Yes, are they more expensive than they were? They sure are. But inflation. Now you talk about when they were on the extra value menu. There is now no touching them on the extra value menu. McDonald's is my number 2. Their breakfast menu. I'm having a hard time now arguing it as number 2 and not number 1. McDonald's doesn't have. We give some arguments against our own topics. Doesn't have the most options? No. But everything is good. And then you think about one thing, Joe. What brings everyone together, especially in we talk about the major pod
My
community.
milkshake, it's what brings the boys to the yard.
I'm not going to even bring up soft serve because it hurts my tummy. Nostalgia. Now you, Joe, you tell me there is any better restaurant for nostalgia than McDonald's, the play place. And let's not even, we can't forget the Happy Meal. Joe, the Happy Meal. You are going to argue anything for a child against a Happy Meal. If you do, you might as well bend over and talk out of your ass. Go ahead. No!
Excuse me. Can I ask you a few questions?
Joe, there is no arguing. McDonald's, if not one, is second place. There is no arguing that. You're not going to take that one. You're not. Roy Rogers couldn't lace Ronald's boots. This fake cowboy. Also, Ronald. The fucking mascots. They have everything. From food from lunch and dinner. Also, now open late night, which is incredible. Go ahead.
I completely get the argument. I completely understand. This is not something I think is like a pulling out of left field. But you know why McDonald's is always on the list? Simple convenience.
Oh, that's what we're going to do?
Hold on. It's not that it's the best. It's simply the most easily accessible. You're in a rush, McDonald's is there. It may not be what you want, but it'll get the job done. And you say McNuggets is the best item? I don't even think they're the best nuggets. I'd be more than happy to...
Don't you dare say Wendy's.
I'll be more than happy to eat those nuggets. But those Wendy's nuggets...
No, you cannot. Don't even say it. They're dog shit.
And now Wendy's offers a
spicy.
50 nugget bucket.
Great.
50
you can
nugget
get the same
bucket.
thing at McDonald's. You just got to buy two 20s and a 10. Same thing.
And if you want to go spicy, Wendy's blows the doors off with the best spicy nuggets out of anyone who's tried it, whether that's Burger King, McDonald's.
Likes those. No one likes those.
No, stop it.
No one, if you put a McNugget against...
Tons of people go crazy
against a
for
Wendy's
spicy
nugget. If you put those two back to back, Wendy's and McDonald's nuggets, and if you can honestly say same freshness, all of that bullshit. There is no way. There's no way. No.
I'll take
goddamn shapes. You got 4 shapes. The bell, the boot, the ball.
The
bell, the boot, the ball. Hold on.
The boot is the most famous. The bell, the boot, the ball, and the bell, the boot. I'm trying to think. What is the other one now? It's at least it's both of us leaving it out. I can't believe this is a real.
What do you got? Fucking Wendy's. The same square.
Circles.
That's all it is.
The ball. Just balls.
Oh, they're balls? I thought they were rectangles.
No, they're
also,
circles.
Their sauces suck. Wendy's sauces are dog shit.
Oh, no. Wendy's has an S-tier honey mustard. Now,
stop with the S-tier. We're 40.
S-tier
You're 45. Mustard. I'm 37. It's A.
I'm not 45.
A is the highest.
And I look younger than you.
A is the highest.
And I look younger than you. I will give you, McDonald's sweet and sour sauce is top level. Like, if I had to make a collection of dipping sauces... You are putting
Wendy's breakfast over McDonald's breakfast?
McDonald's has my all-time favorite breakfast item, which is the steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
Oh, stupid. That's dumb, too. That's
dumb. What do you get? What do you get?
Biscuit. Sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. All day. Then the sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. All day.
If I'm getting a biscuit, I go to Burger King. But I'll tell you, Wendy's even has that breakfast burrito now, and they give you the Cholula hot sauce on the side, which amps it up a level, and that thing is amazing.
I saw you turn your stupid nose up when I brought up nostalgia. What were you going to say?
And I agree that nostalgia is a pull, but I think we need to get away from that because nostalgia too often influences what we think now. And things change. Sometimes the movies and the TV shows and the cartoons and everything that we liked as kids, you know what? When you watch them now or you watch them with fresh eyes, they're not as good. I love He-Man. It's my biggest fandom that I've ever had and has stayed with me.
Oh, right. That's the one.
I hope you get SARS. But when I go back and watch original He-Man that I grew up as a kid loving and waiting for every day after school when I came home, I sit there and I go, yikes, this is pretty not good.
Same as it was.
And the thing is, for McDonald's, the nostalgia is strong. And the food, because they are smart, you got to keep that on brand. They've kept the food pretty much the same until recently where they've changed the burgers. And I will give it credit that I do think it is a positive improvement in the burger end. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Have you had the new burger since they changed the meat?
Yep.
And you think it's better?
I used to
hate it was.
Joe, I used to hate onions of any kind. You know what got me to eat onions? McDonald's. McFreaking Donald's got me to eat onions. That's the only onions I would eat as a kid. Only onions I they're okay now. I will never take them off my McDonald's burger.
To me, McDonald's is a lot
McNuggets! McNuggets! That's all you gotta say.
McDonald's is a lot of mid-level food. Even when you brought up the Happy Meals. Because when we were kids, those were some of the coolest toys. I can constantly go back and remember the changeables, the ones that they were like burgers and they turned into little robots like Transformers. You had the Muppet Babies on the little bicycle, Kermit on the bicycle and Gonzo, whatever. They had He-Man toys at one point. There was so many cool. Yeah, they did in 2002 when they did the reboot. Trust me, it was there.
Sure, it was over then.
But nowadays, when I go to a McDonald's and I see I was like, who is even interested in this? I don't see where the kid is getting a lot of enjoyment out of that Happy Meal box anymore with the mazes and the puzzles. I agree. So the idea of the nostalgia when they've taken away the coolness of the Happy Meal, when they've taken away the play places, when all we see from the characters, we don't get the kind of commercials for McDonald's like we used to with the Hamburglar breaking into McDonald land and being run out of town by Ronald and Bertie and the Fry Guys. We don't get that kind of stuff anymore. So what are we really holding on to nostalgia for when there are other options that are better and McDonald's simply stays number one at the box office because of convenience?
My number 3. I'm moving on. My number 3 is a place we used to have in Oshkosh, but they realized that when it is cold 9 months of the year, that a drive-in probably wouldn't do too well. Sonic. I love Sonic. Sonic. The burgers are incredible. The fries are incredible. Dylan Postl hates tater tots. I do. I go on record and say tater tots, one of the worst versions of a potato. Dylan hates tater tots, but people go gaga for Sonic's tots. Then you get into the drinks. Tell me a place that's as much of almost like a throwback. They used to be called soda fountains, I guess. Mm-hmm. As a Sonic. Then you get into the ice cream treats. Sonic is incredible. And the again, I talked about the burgers. There's this Frisco, I call it a Frisco burger because that's whatever the sourdough, I believe, right? That's a sourdough bun. One of the only places I would ever get it from is Sonic because it's a little too exotic for me. Sonic was incredible for it. They have the apps. Not a lot of places, fast food-wise, have apps. Sonic has the apps. I love Sonic. I miss Sonic. Sonic is easily number 3 in my books.
Now here's where we're going to have
cherry limeade.
Here's where we're going to have a big disagreement. Now,
You're going to hate cherry limeade?
No, I give you the drinks. And what Sonic has more than anything else in its favor is options. They give you burgers. They give you tots. I think their tots are really good. I'm a tot guy in general, but I still think Sonic's tots are really good. They have hot dogs. A hot dog is such
chili cheese dogs? Come on.
Now that'll give me a little rumbly in my tumbly, but you know, if you have a good, there's something about the simplicity of a hot dog. If you give me a second here.
Not a fan.
It's something I have so infrequently that when I do have a hot dog, it's almost like, God damn, why don't I have hot dogs more often?
But you want like 5 of them, right?
But you want like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then by the time it's over, you say, now that's why I don't have hot dogs more often. But here's where I really want to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because you described Sonic's burgers as incredible.
Yeah.
When they couldn't be further from incredible. In my opinion, one of the worst fast food burgers on the market. I find them very rubbery, very flavorless. Whenever they do specialty burgers, recently they had a pulled pork burger that I went and tried out. They did a whole pulled pork menu with a pulled pork sandwich and a pulled pork burger. The sandwich was better than I expected it to be. The burger, not good. You know why? Because it had the Sonic burger. And their burger patty is just not
I disagree.
good. Now, the apps, they give you all the options. There's a lot to like about Sonic, but because the main item of most fast food restaurants is the burger, most of them base their menu around the burger, especially when it comes to promotions and new items and other things. The burger is so bad that it's not even in the discussion for my list.
It's funny you say that because later on my list, I have one that has no burgers. No burgers.
I didn't say all. I said most.
Okay.
Like Taco Bell, obviously not giving you burgers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to Taco Bell expecting a burger.
Sonic's exactly what you said. I think that's why it's so awesome to me. The options. It was almost my number 2, to be honest. It was that close to topping. 1, 2, and 3 were very interchangeable almost for me. It was very argumentative for what would be those 3 because I love all 3 of them so much. I just thinking about a cherry limeade right now makes me crave it so much. There's nothing better on a hot day than a cherry limeade. The best ice in any fast food place is Sonic. I'd go there for the ice, period. Put water on that. Put tap water on that ice. It's still the best ice. The best, most refreshing tap water you'll ever drink because it's the Sonic ice. Thank you.
See, I'm not an ice person. I'll take a large with no ice, please.
You're
sensitive
an
teeth.
Insane human.
Sensitive teeth.
Yeah, like I'd get one pulled.
But you were chewing on all that ice, getting yelled at by your son when we were in Disney. Just while we have a second, I just want to remind everyone, Dylan and I recently went to Disney together, and he was chewing on ice with a bad tooth that he's fully aware of, and his son Landon had to reprimand him.
Scolded me.
And scolded him while Kinnick and I just looked on and chuckled like little schoolgirls. It was the best. That boy humiliated his father in front of all his friends.
In
and
Disney.
You know
At
what?
Animal Kingdom, right? Animal Kingdom?
And I wish everybody could have got a snapshot in time to see it because it was loverly. But
what's your third?
My third one, once again, a regional one that I know had made it out to the Midwest, but I don't know if you ever had it in Wisconsin. Genuinely don't know. And it is, of course, White Castle.
Get the fuck out of here. Nope. Throw
White
away.
Castle.
Throw away the rest of your list. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say, and then I'm going to
Nope.
let you go on your little rant.
Go ahead.
Throw
Say
away all of it. Throw away your whole list now. When you're coming with top 5 with that, reevaluate. We want to talk about reevaluation. We talk about it every week. That's the reevaluation. Go ahead.
White Castle is a unique fast food experience.
That doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it's good.
It's good. It's
I
White
can paint
Castle.
the hippo purple. Doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Because you could say, I want a burger. And you could kind of get a burger anywhere. But you can't get White Castle anywhere. And yes, they are frozen. You can get them in the supermarket. They're not the same. And you got to trust me on that. They're not the same. Growing up, always having a White Castle, when you would get in that mode where you just had it in your head, like, you know what I would love right now? You know what would hit the spot? White Castle sliders. There's nothing like it. The enjoyment you get from it is absolutely stupendous. You said you were going to shut up, and you will shut up. The different types of cheese, or you could get jalapeno cheese instead of regular cheese. And that jalapeno cheese got a little kick and such delight to every bite, especially mixed with those chopped up onions that act as little flavor crystals bursting in your mouth with every bite. It is spectacular. And then you go even further down the menu. And Dylan likes to talk about apps, and he's 100% right. Because guess what? I love sides. And White Castle has some high quality sides. You want some good ass crinkle cut fries? White Castle got them. You want some dynamite chicken rings? White Castle got them. Some spectacular onion rings? White Castle is where it's at. And of course, the mozzarella sticks. White Castle mozzarella sticks are, and I say this with no irony, I mean this honestly and fully. Mozzarella sticks from White Castle are incredible. Far and away the best mozzarella sticks you'll ever have at any fast food, and even better than some diners and restaurants that I have been to. White Castle delivers every single time. When you that movie, Harold and Kumar, exists for a reason, because when you get it in your head, nothing else will suffice. And all we want is that little bit of happiness in knowing that we got exactly what we wanted. And White Castle is that.
The one thing a White Castle delivers is diarrhea. You know it. I know it. There is no escaping the post-match White Castle battle. There is no escaping that. And that, first off, the burgers are disgusting. All they taste of is onion. That's all they taste of. There's nothing to it. It's all bun and onion. They're so gross.
Would you say it's
disgusting.
bunion?
It's there it is. Yes. They master in bunion. And then I will agree with you. The chicken rings are good. I had those instead of a burger. I had chicken rings, and they were good.
And they also offer, you can have a chicken ring sandwich.
Correct.
Or a regular chicken sandwich. They do have the regular tiny chicken breast sliders as well.
Wouldn't dare.
Very good.
Their fries are probably the most hit or miss.
Oh, you think so?
Probably the most hit or miss. Yes. Because if you get a cold one of those, it is awful. I'd rather have cold McDonald's fries than cold White Castle fries. And I hate McDonald's fries. But and then you named 4 options. The apps. Sonic has 19 apps.
But these are top tier quality in each category. Shit. Yes, 100%. In fact, even if you say, because I understand this is a personal preference. You're asking Joe Shoes' opinion on fast food.
This is going to be.
So I understand. I understand if White Castle burgers aren't for you, but with the deliciousness of their chicken, of their sides, their fries, the onion rings, the mozzarella stick. Hell, back in the day, they used to have clam strips, baby girl, and those weren't half bad either.
They're all bad.
No, they're not. They got a great selection of sides. If you want the chicken, like I have my buddy Gomez, one of my best friends, never really liked it. He was okay with the burgers, but he preferred the chicken by far. He'd go and get a 10-pack of chicken sandwiches, and we go watch Sunday football together while just gorging on White Castle. And that's what friendships are made of.
So you are ending your list on White Castle.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. You are going Wendy's, Roy Rogers, and White Castle.
Yeah.
Versus easily the number 1 and 2 to everyone, Taco Bell, McDonald's, and then a favorite in Sonic.
Once again, I think Sonic is overrated to an extent. I think McDonald's is there for the convenience, but for the most part is mid. Although it does have my favorite breakfast item. I do love that steak, egg, and cheese bagel, which you even said you fucking hate.
Bagel?
So
what
are we even doing
bagel?
here?
You're gonna marry the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, pretty sure.
I do want to ask you,
okay,
because I think, like, I don't know if Roy Rogers was nationwide. You know, it was very big where I grew up, and to the point where I say it was the number 2 behind McDonald's. You say you never had it. Do you have anything that's? Or I know Culver's is big in Wisconsin.
Culver's
right?
is the biggest region. I hate it. It's everyone here loves it. Bogger goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs about it. Landon loves it. I think it's very, very, very expensive. They call it fast food, but it's not fast. And their argument, well, they make it fresh. It's not fast food. Don't call it fast food then. Very simple. It's very overpriced. I don't care for it. Their custard, I like their custard because it doesn't give me rumbly in the tumbly as much as ice cream does. But that's about it. Like, their burgers are overrated. Their fries suck to me.
So I've only had it once because we do have one here, but I kind of got to drive and go out of the way for it.
Yep.
And I was kind of overwhelmed for a first-time visit by the size of the menu because there's a ton of stuff, all different types of burgers, all different types of different sandwiches. The one thing I did eat when I was there was they had a pot roast sandwich.
Yep.
And that's like, where else am I getting a pot roast
fast
option?
food-wise especially, yeah. Yep.
Exactly. So and I thought it was good. I thought it was not amazing, like didn't blow my balls off. But I thought I was like, oh, you know what? Like, this is fine. This is something I would have again down the line. And I thought the fries were fine. Nothing too crazy. But I know Culver's is a big thing. I guess
huge. Huge. And I don't like it at all. I also don't like cheese curds or mozzarella sticks. I hate them.
Okay.
I don't like them at all. And which everyone, oh, you live in Wisconsin. Shut up. Like,
you do live in Wisconsin.
Dumb argument. I do live in Wisconsin. That's not an argument. The argument that I have to like it because it's cheese is just stupid. What I was saying,
drink Miller beer, don't you?
I don't. I would never put that in my body.
You grew up in Wisconsin, Dylan.
Coors Light, Miller Light, Bud Light. That's my ranking. All right. I have to say.
Have you ever had Hardee's?
Always. It just switched a few years ago to Carl's Jr. here.
Okay.
Hardee's was the best play place in town. It's incredible.
Same menu though, right? They're the
exact same. Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are the same menu.
Okay.
Yep.
When I was a kid, we didn't have the nearest Hardee's was like in Pennsylvania. So I thought okay. We would get commercials all the time though.
Yeah, we still get them.
So I'd be like watching the baseball game or something or the news with my parents.
Yeah.
And this Hardee's commercial would come up about like with whatever toy they were giving away or
Hardee's
whatever
huge,
monster
man.
Stack burger was.
Monster
and I'd be
burger.
like, oh my Mom, we gotta go to Hardee's. And my mom would look at me and be like, Joe, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Hardee's was definitely the first one that had like, remember that phase in the late 90s, early aughts, as they say, of like when the burger places were doing the monster, the thick burger, all that.
Yeah.
Hardee's was the first one to do it. And it was like, then they did the six star, whatever star, but it was just this monstrous burger that it was funny. I remember being like in middle school when it came out and people would order it. And it was always like, you'd look at these hefty humans, like adult males ordering it and going like, There's no way he's eating that, and he just puts it down. But it's this enormous burger, the Monster Burger. That's right.
Now, one thing neither of us brought up, but it's a major
I'm gonna be
player.
so happy.
Burger King.
Don't.
Now,
Yeah, no, it's Burger King has went the way of the dodo.
I feel like Burger
Best
King,
fries in the game, easily the best fries in the game.
I feel like they've plateaued.
Oh, they've more than they've no the plateau. I would say the plateau
A while ago, yeah.
I would say the plateau was when they came out with that authentic chicken parm sandwich. After that,
That's in
it was
the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After that, it was downhill on roller skates. The only thing I really remember, you and I have talked about it off air. The original chicken sandwich is the only thing good there, and it's not good fresh. It's not good fresh. It needs to be on the warmer. It needs to be on the warmer for about 1 or 2 minutes. Then it's even better because it's too greasy otherwise.
My first job ever was working at a Burger King.
Yep, and we're not doing this.
No. But like you, as a kid, I when it would come to Happy Meals and stuff, I would fight with my mom about not wanting the burger.
One. Yeah,
I wouldn't want burgers. So if we were somewhere, wherever, like somewhere different outside of our neighborhood, and there was a Burger King had the chicken sandwich option.
Yeah.
McDonald's added chicken nuggets to the Happy Meal. It wasn't there originally. But like when I could get a chicken sandwich, it was like a big deal to be able, because when we always make the joke about all kids. What do you feed them? Oh, chicken fingers and French fries.
Yep.
I was a kid who wanted chicken fingers and French fries, but that was a game changer back then. The first person to have that kind of chicken sandwich. I think it still holds up now. Whenever you do have it, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
This is a good sandwich.
Yeah. I think that one's, ours, I thought Landon and I actually, they remodeled it or something. There's just this sign. We thought it was shutting down. It's never, it's a block from my house. It's never busy.
It never feels like it's a destination either. I never find myself saying, you know where I want to go today? And I'll do my food reviews, but it's only because I scour these websites looking up like what's new out there that I can go try and film. But I never find myself when I'm just hungry for myself and just going to have a meal. I never say, you know what? Let's take a ride to Burger King today.
I am very happy and glad that you didn't mention the most overrated fast food in history. Guys, I know this is going to get me heat. I know this is going to get me heat, and this might cancel everyone's votes for me. I don't care. This is my opinion. In-N-Out is the most overrated fast food in history.
Hold the wheel right there, Pat Sajak.
No.
We got time for another round because you know something, Dylan? I agree with you.
Thank you. It's the most overrated.
Let me tell you, I think the burgers are fine, but nothing that blows me away by any means. Especially when I've been hearing for years how it's going to be this life-changing experience. And let me tell you something else.
And you know what they say? The secret menu. If it's that
good,
put it on the regular menu.
Exactly. If I got to go online and find some dirt sheet with a secret menu, then guess what? It sucks. And
also, all the
French fries
is excluding something or adding something.
Yes.
That's not a secret.
And the French fries at In-N-Out are the all-time worst.
Awful.
Cardboard.
Awful.
Tasteless pieces of garbage. I cannot believe of all things we agree on this.
Their burger buns are good. Their burgers are very subpar. Their fries are dog shit.
The fries are dog shit.
I think you're going to tell me,
I don't hate the burgers.
Fresh right in front of you. I don't care.
Shit is
overrated. And no options. You want to talk about options and no options? There are no options. And don't come at me about Taco Bell doing the same song and dance with their shit. No, I don't care.
This is where I come back. Because like I said earlier in the episode, I think a lot of this is regional, where you grew up and being protective, like you said, with your nostalgia. Got a lot of nostalgia for White Castle.
I agree with that.
Got a lot of nostalgia for McDonald's. I'm doing the Stone Cold thing with my hands and I didn't even realize it. But I think it's simply a West Coast thing where they're just so protective of their In-N-Out that they want to gas it up. And then someone goes there and has heard all this noise about it, and you leave there very underwhelmed.
I think the only people that love In-N-Out are the people that have had it once in their life, maybe twice, and then the people from that region. If you've had it, if you've like went to California, been a world traveler like myself,
Around the world, how many times?
probably 80.
Yeah.
Not counting. But if you've had In-N-Out like 4 to 7 times, it's very like, no, it's all hype. It's
the first time it's novelty, right? Like, oh, this is new. I've heard about this.
You get the stupid ass hat. Yeah.
The second time, maybe you're still getting a piece of that. Like, by the third time, you're like, you know what? Like, this ain't it, pal.
I honestly don't get it. And their shakes are very like, whatever. Like,
yeah. You know who has
I'm
an
so
underrated
glad.
shake? And I don't know if you're going to agree with this or not, or maybe not even have an opinion. Chick-fil-A, underrated shake.
Chick-fil-A was a 3A on my list. Love Chick-fil-A. Love the whole thing.
Are you a spicy or regular guy? You're not a spicy guy in general, though, right?
No, because it hurts my guts too much.
Yeah.
Regular Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's got a good, decent breakfast, too. But we only had 3. So Joe Shoes on the block. Joe Shoes' top 3 are?
Number 3, we went with White Castle. Like I said, I got a lot of nostalgia for White Castle, and it's not just any burger. It's a White Castle. It's its own thing, just like David S. Pumpkins. Number 2, I had Roy Rogers. And Roy Rogers may not be in a lot of places anymore, but when it was good and when it was around, it was a spot. And number 1, I think the best in show with the most above average options across the board. I think that's why Wendy's is number 1. It gives you the best in so many different categories where it just outrates everyone. Whether it's burgers, fries nowadays, their chicken nuggets, some of the sauces, the ability to keep coming with new items and different options for you. I think Wendy's is constantly providing high value and high quality items across the board. Chili. Where else are you getting chili on a 30-degree day? I know I live in Florida, but trust me, we still have our 2 weeks of winter every year that requires a chili.
You didn't bring it up, and it actually honestly upset me that you didn't, because that's Wendy's number 1 item is the chili.
It's because I don't live in cold weather climate. It's not something I have a lot.
Still love it.
But
I would still love it.
When it requires a chili, it's good to have the option.
Now, for what I call the winning list, number 3, Sonic. Most options in the game, most versatility in the game, hell of a glass of ice. Number
I can't believe it. I may not agree with your ranking, but for you to use great ice as a talking point.
Go to Sonic. Tell me I'm wrong. Go to Sonic. That's your homework, Joe.
What they use
Go to
the
Sonic.
chips, right? It's ice chips.
No, it's the barrels.
Oh, they're barrel ice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2, old trusty steed McDonald's. Name one item better than the Chicken McNugget. And if you do, look in the mirror while you're punching yourself in the face because you're lying to yourself.
Like the old Shawn Michaels animation on Raw when they cut the commercial?
None. And number 1, Taco Bell. From breakfast to the munchies and everything in between. Taco Bell is the number 1.
Dylan, we may not agree.
That's going to do it.
But I think this episode has been more even than some of the other ones.
Nope.
Because I do agree with a lot of your talking points this time around. Whereas last episode where you just go, I haven't seen any movies before. See? I at least you have actual talking points today, and for that I commend you.
Guys, we want to hear what you think. Who won this week, Team Shoes or Team Swoggle? We want to hear your side of this. Find us on X. Find us on Instagram. Find us on TikTok. Find us in Apple Pod or wherever you find you listen to your favorite podcast, including this very podcast. Let us hear your voice at Affairs Pod on all forms of social media. Other than that, myself at Dylan Postl on all forms of social media, ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle. My other show at Going Postl, my career, my life, and everything in between. That's at Going Postl Pod or the Going Postl Podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcast. Joe, hit him with it.
You can find me everywhere on social media at The Joe Shoes. Of course, that's X, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Threads. We're all having so much fun on Threads. ProWrestlingTees.com/Joe Shoes. Don't forget, if you go to Dylan's site, you can get the new State of Affairs curmudgeon shirt with a nice animated drawing of both Dylan and myself up in the balcony, possibly heckling something. I don't know. It looks somewhat familiar. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Just a couple of curmudgeons.
Just a couple of curmudgeons. And don't forget, we are a part of the PodXchange with our sister show, The Game Marks. That is George Feast, and that other guy is
Caruth.
They make up the Game Marks, and they're part of us. So along with Game Marks and Going Postl, you have the State of Affairs forming a trifecta of Patreon excellence. Go check it out at patreon.com/PodXchange. But Dylan, I think we've covered all the bases for the State of Affairs on fast food restaurants.
That's the State of Affairs.